आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमेन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मने निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ May all my limbs attain strength. May the body, the mind, all the sensory and motor organs become efficient, powerful. All is verily the one without second, ever blissful and perfect, conscious existence itself, the Brahman. May I never deny Brahman. May the Brahman never reject me either. I am aware that to experience or realize this truth, the scriptures have laid down the requirement of cultivating many virtues. I pray that may all those virtues come to me. Om, peace, peace, peace. Let us feel this unity, this oneness of the whole existence by feeling that I am a piece in a big heap of ice cubes. I am just an ice cube, like thousands around me. I think I am separate from others. Sometimes I get attracted to other ice cubes. I am afraid of some other ice cubes. I identify myself with the size, the shape of these ice cubes. In the warm weather, like what we have here today, I see my shape, size is changing. So also that of other ice cubes. As they melt, I see that the distinctions and the separateness is vanishing. It vanished. It is one without second existence itself. There is no I, no world. It never was. It was just a delusion. In this oneness, there is perfect bliss. For I have no wants. There is no I separate from the others. It is peace itself. Om, peace, peace, peace. So, dear friends, we will be discussing this in this 165th class on this great scripture, highly revered and being read on a daily basis by thousands of people. This Srimad Bhagavatam has been a solace for millions of people, bringing the deeper meaning of life in their understanding and awareness. Srimad Bhagavatam brings all those philosophical ideas to us through very interesting stories, and thus they become understandable and get appreciated. So that is the beauty of this kind of literature called Purana. Hindus, they have this three-tier scripture system. One is they call Shruti, the Vedas, which give impersonal philosophical ideas which are not very easy to grasp. Then there is the other level that people want to lead religious life, They do not have either time to invest in deep scriptural studies, nor do they feel that they are capable of doing it. But they want certain rules and regulations by which they can follow that. And these can be compared, they like the manuals that you use. Suppose you are having a car. Now, uh, literally millions and millions of people use cars. But how many know about the engineering and how a car is made? The science and engineering behind it is not known by most. Very rarely few people understand that. But they can still use the car. All that they need is a maintenance manual. So, in religion also, oh, forget, I cannot get into all those philosophical things. Tell me certain do's and don't do's. Those books are called smritis. That how shall I regulate my life on the basis of this philosophy that I don't need to know. Just tell me, like in the car manual, how much oil to put, when to put. Uh, you don't need to know that why the oil is necessary, why should it be put. It is you only need to put it like that. It is you follow the manual. So it is like those construction people here doing certain things. They have a code manual that this should be like this should be like this. So they were going by those codes. And if they are questioned why these codes you have to, do you need to follow these codes? Then they would say, well, yes, why these codes? We don't know about that. The philosophy of that is not our aspect. We don't make the codes, we follow the codes. So, similarly, people want to follow the codes. That is this called, these codes are known as smritis. And they change, The codes, like our codes, they change. Some time back, we had some work here, and I said we had followed all the codes. Yes, you followed the codes which were in uh, that application for 10 years ago. 10 years ago, those codes had validity. Now they have been revised since that two times. So now you have to follow the new codes. So the smritis change according to the times and place. Certain codes are applicable in one country, some other codes are applicable in another country. So, therefore, the codes change according to time and space. So, we have such smritis, therefore, many smritis which had validity on some regions and at some time, like Yajnavalkya Smriti, Manusmriti, which is very well known. Then there are many other such smritis. So, all these smritis, they are scriptures of that type. Then there is another level of scriptures, that these very truths, without much philosophy directly involved in it, can be explained through stories. And then people will be able to grasp that. So they become popular. Like stories like Ramayana, Mahabharata, when taught through stories, even in Bible Jesus says that I teach through parables, because the stories, parables, they are attractive. The other day at Brown University, we had the librarian was giving us some. So somebody asked that some books are never touched. Yes, he said the general rule in library, which again is changing, that uh, 80% books are read by 20%, and then remaining the 20% books are read by 80%. So it is like that because everybody mostly not interested. One observation you can make, although we want to be rooted in reality and all that, our which books are most read in library are fictions. So we are not that much interested in reality or the facts. Fictions take hold of our mind more easily. And that we know that Harry Potter's that magic world, that is not real. It is just magic. But people like to read that Harry Potter or watch that movie. It is with such goggle eyes. One little girl was reading that book, was not even looking at food and anything else, was just eating mechanically whatever was in the plate, but book. And she was traveling with the characters in the book like that. This is the beauty and efficacy of this kind of literature, the stories. So, when these truths are given through stories, people read them, they remember them, and so forth. So, that is how in Bhagavatam you see these stories to illustrate the great truths, and for last some classes we have been reading the very uh, famous, very powerful story of Prahlada. It is so famous because it has brought the devotional aspect to one's life, and without getting divorced from the knowledge aspect. The knowledge or rational aspect is fully preserved, but the devotional aspect is more enhanced. Like in our life, if you see, we of course have the rational faculty, but most of our life is governed by the feeling faculty. We feel that this is the nice thing, this is the right thing, not that we are taking a rational decision or rational outlook about it is not there. Just it is I like it. These are my feelings. And so therefore the feeling faculty has a great role to play, and this feeling faculty is associated with what is called discipline of bhakti. The rational faculty is associated with the path of knowledge, and not that they are contradictory. One must have both of them in our spiritual progress. So, we saw last time. Oh, but we have to begin with the beginning, isn't it? What, Charlie, you didn't remind me? Uh, oh, we have this opening chant. So please recite the opening chant, which happens to be the first verse of this great book. Yeah, probably I was waiting for Rishali to enter and then begin. So it is, she just entered. So, and now let us begin. Recite it as loudly as you can. जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवयो ये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः. तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकम् सत्यं परं धीमहि. That from whom creation, sustenance and dissolution of the universe take place, who is both the instrumental and material cause of it, who is omniscient, is the only one having self-mastery, being the one independent entity, who illumined the mind of Brahma with the Vedic revelation, whose wisdom is the wonder of even the greatest sages, in whom the world of three gunas subsists, just as the combination of materials like fire, water, and earth subsist in their causes without changing their elemental nature, in whose consciousness there is nothing false. On that truth supreme we meditate. So the whole scripture is actually meditation on the supreme truth. Truth is the greatest value in life. Many those who call themselves atheists, they also accept that there is truth is a great value. Otherwise, even the validity of what they are saying comes to question. That if they don't believe in truth, then whatever they are saying, that also doesn't abide by truth. So truth is a uh, commonly accepted nature of God or name of God. For the Vedantics, they call God Sat Chid Ananda. And a book by a Christian theologian published some about a decade ago, I think. That book is therefore titled Existence, Knowledge, Bliss, Sat, and underneath written Sat Chid Ananda. And then the author, uh, Bentley Hart, he says that to refute the arguments of theists, arguments of atheists, especially the scientist atheists, the regular Christian theology is not sufficient at all. It cannot refute the objections of the scientists, and therefore he mentions this in introduction and repeats this again and again in the whole. It's a fairly big book that uh, he says, I have borrowed this from Vedanta, that existence, consciousness, bliss, Sat Chid Ananda, that is the truth absolute. And this does not change. It is one without second. It manifests in millions or infinitely many different forms without any change. This is a very special feature in Vedanta. The normal monotheistic theology has this idea of God creating something. So God is doing something, as it were, in creating this world. So the creation is something like that, that there is a change, that even it is said that God got a little exhausted because of this big work of creation, isn't it? So it is. So after working for 6 days, the God decided to take, a day off. Naomi, even God took then a day off. So it is, that is why Sunday and people have to take an off. It is considered not religious if you do business on Sundays. So everything is closed. So uh, it is like that. Some were not religious. They had a business. A grocery shop was there, and then they decided to become, take up Christianity. And then somebody came to the shop. Then they, uh, as I heard the story, the daughter of the shop owner saw them from the upstairs and said, "Oh, don't you know that we have converted now? We have become Christians, but doesn't matter. So now you have to come to buy something from the back door." So it is that much. So, but at least that much adherence. So, because God takes a break, but in Vedanta, God does not do anything. In all Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita, you will find that without God's doing anything, this world comes out of that God. Like a rope lying, and then somebody sees that in a dim light, sees it as if it is snake. Now, the snake is that person sees it is a snake. Now, who made the snake? Did the rope underwent any change in creating the snake? It remained rope. If you see snake, that rope had nothing to do with it. So that is why, and this is the reality that does not change. And in one's ego and the desire for the enjoyments of different objects, when you see that you are this and all the objects are there, there is a drag for enjoyment, appropriating those objects. Let me have this, let me have that. Unending desire, and never you can fulfill that. You may get an object, but what you wanted from that object you never get, because it is never there. So therefore it is a life that is the life of constant suffering in the name of seeking happiness. Nobody goes to say, "Oh, let me get more misery." Nobody says that. Everybody goes to find happiness. But what you get is this suffering. And this is the life of a demon, that you become a demon in the process, because the craving increases. And only thing the difference between ordinary human beings and demons is that these demons, they acquire lot of strength by performing different austerities, and therefore they can actually cause lot of havoc. An ordinary person, powerless, so they cannot do much, cause much havoc. But basically they are same, that they want to appropriate things from the world. Let this be mine, let that be mine. I want to buy another house there. Never ending. So therefore, their life is always having cravings, and thus unhappy. So this demon Hiranyakashipu was like that, and we saw this story, that they he was finally uh, killed by the form of God, Narasimha. And then Narasimha's that form was so terrible. It has been described here. that all the really grotesque form, horrible, that blood was all splashed here, there, the entrails of that demon, Hiranyakashipu, they had come out and uh, were seen everywhere. Not a sight that a weak heart can withstand. So there are some who, even if they see blood, they become horrified. That is why they say no, no surgery, because surgery means cutting. There would be blood. When this is story of the olden times, say 50 years ago. So a surgeon had a friend who wanted to see how a surgery is performed. So he said, come that day and I am doing this surgery. And he put on the surgeon's mask, everything. That friend also went in and the surgery was over. And this friend remarked, "Oh, it was very good that what you did. You know, it is all that problem was taken care of. That problematic part was removed, and thus the health is restored. Very nice, something you did, but." Uh, there is so much blood that went out. I don't like that. Can you not have a surgery without this bleeding? And the doctor gravely said, yes, at times we do such surgeries also, but they are called postmortems. So it is, if you are doing surgery on a live body, the blood is running, you know. So you make a cut, the blood oozes out. So similarly, this, you know, many demigods were there. They were so scared of this. They came there to applaud the killing of this Hiranyakashipu, but they were scared of this terrible form. They were hesitating to go near. They just prayed from a distance. And that prayer also for, you know, restoring their rights. These demigods are somewhat elevated forms of people like us. People like us means who want from God. They don't want God. Getting something from God. So they wanted all their pleasures, all their rights restored to them, which were all snatched away by this terrible, powerful demon Hiranyakashipu, and this big body of Hiranyakashipu now was lying there, and this form of God, uh, man lion, was still roaring. So was everybody was scared, but not Prahlada. Because if you have love for God, love removes fear. That is a great difference between bhakti, the true love for God, and what passes for love. In the world, what passes for love, it is always associated with fear. Oh, uh, maybe this man is mine for now, is friendly to me, but I don't know what will happen tomorrow. I hear many different stories, and then there is always fear associated with this. It is so, but in real love, that is love for God, there is absolutely no fear whatsoever. So, this is a great difference between the ordinary love and bhakti, the devotion, love for God, there is no fear at all. So, therefore, Prahlada was sent there, and he went. He had no fear. So, and he told all others also, none of these celestial beings need to be scared of you. Oh, the man lion form of God, you are their protector. And henceforth, people will meditate on this seemingly horrific form of yours for freedom from fear. Henceforward, that will happen. There is this many temples of Narsimha, and there people meditate to become free from fear. So, and this is what Prahlada said there. But there is other reason for fear that every devotee feels that unless the proper devotions are practiced, and this dread remains that getting caught in the bondage of karma and the consequent transmigratory cycle. That whatever actions we perform out of desires, they give rise to the fruits of the action, the results. Those results again become another karma. Then that gives rise to further things. An unending cycle. And even when a person is about to die, still there are the desires. Ah, so, and cannot take the name of God. Even if verbally the person is taking name of God, the mind is in all other things, the money, the business, the children, grandchildren, no end, about what honors I have achieved in my life, what are all the great medals and recognitions I got in life, all that is just making the man even on the deathbed and not really thinking of God. So, therefore, according to those desires, takes up another body. And then the same cycle goes on. There is no end to it, and one gets caught in that. So it is even a prison term ends, that okay, 25 years, 30 years, in the or one whole life you will be doomed in a prison, but then at least at death you are taken out of that prison. But this prison of karma, that is what in Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, Krishna says, karma bandha, that this bondage of karma and does not get exhausted like that, does not get even loosened, except through the knowledge and devotion. And that is the only way one can become free. Otherwise, you see, like this picture, uh, that the person is born, grows, becomes a youth, then starts becoming old, gets older, gets sick, and then is becomes an invalid, dies. Is it over? The same cycle endlessly, and sequence continues endlessly. Again is born. It is a never ending cycle. This is up the part on the top is quote from Shankaracharya's famous this Bhaja Govindam, uh, that born again, death again, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam, iha sansare khuludustare, kripaya pare pahi murare, born again, death again, birth again, and to stay in the mother's womb. It is indeed hard to cross this boundless ocean of samsara. O Murari, a name of God. Mm. Krishna had slain a demon whose name was Mura, and therefore he gets the name Murari. So, killer or the enemy of Mura. So redeem me through thy mercy. Otherwise, this cycle of birth and death continues. That story of life like that is same for everybody. In our childhood, we had an English song. It is in our that song. I still remember because it has that philosophical ring to it. Solomon Grande, born on Monday, Thistled on Tuesday, married on Wednesday, ill on Thursday, worse on Friday, died on Saturday, buried on Sunday. That is the story of Solomon Grande. Your maybe name may be not Solomon Grande, but this story still is very grande story of everyone. Uh, so, and then it repeats again. So there is no escape from this. So Prahlada said that I am just afraid of this, and without your intervention, without your grace, and without the devotion to you, there is no other way of getting over this. That Sri Ramakrishna used to say that people, like little children, and they hold a pole and run around it. Mm. And as long as they retain the hold on the pole, they are okay. But when they let the hold on the pole go, they just fall down. So it is like that. When we let the hold on God fall down, then we are lost. We fall like that. So this is what happens in this. So Prahlada keeps on saying that. mm, O Lord, thou of the man lion form, thou being the dear one, the well wisher of the and the deity of all, I shall easily surmount the obstacles posed by body, mind, and other limitations of material nature by resorting to the recital of thy excellences and sportive manifestations which have been glorified in songs even by Brahma and by seeking the company of thy great, all renouncing devotees, the holy swans, Paramahamsas, who always have their homes at thy feet. So, if that is being done, then Prahlada says, I don't have to then fear of this, how to escape that. Holding on to that, I will cross over. That it is otherwise there is this misery continues because we take the unreal for real. The delusion is the cause of that, that we do not know what is real. We get deluded by the appearance. So Prahlada further continues. Uh, no other measure is going to be of any use to get illumined in this. Let us be sure of it. Whatever other things may do in life, whatever other achievements we may have in life, they do not have any skill in liberating us from this uh, cycle of birth and growth and death, again born. So it is the only way out is to hold on to that which does not go away. God is the only one that is beyond this cycle of birth and death, and thus you get liberated. Imagine the same example, that I was telling about, that you see a big snake and you get afraid. Many people are scared of snakes. Oh, it would be poisonous. It may attack me. It can certainly bite me. And oh, I am going to die. It is reported that most of the snake bite deaths attributed to those snake bites are not really because of the poison of the snakes, because of the fear. They get such a that heart attack of that because of the fear. That is the cause of death in most of the deaths which are blamed on the snakes. So it is, even if there is rope, since that person is seeing snake, the reactions are not of seeing the rope, but of seeing the snake. And thus you are running here, there. Oh, to save me from this snake, should I call 911? Or do take up some other measure? Should I run away or bring a stick to kill the snake? All these different reactions come. But the only remedy from all these is to see that it is rope. Once it is rope, then you are not scared. Even this little girl sitting here, she will not be scared. Oh, it is only a rope. Why should I be afraid of that? It is. So, uh, the only remedy comes like that. See that this is God. All this is God. It actually appears like this, but it is all God. Like whatever happens, in the movie. And there are so many examples of how taking appearance for the real, I thus get caught in the grip of delusion. This is what Prahlada says. So, like the mirage waters, in Sanskrit the word is mrigajala. Mriga means a deer. A deer sees this appearance of water uh, because of this combination of sun, light, and other surroundings. You see the mirage. And if you are driving here also, many times you see, while you are driving, you see, oh, there is no rain here, but just ahead, you see, there is a big puddle there. There must have been rain there. No rain. It appears like water, but there is no water there. But we see water. Vivekananda has narrated his own experience that in Rajasthan, as he was doing his, uh, pilgrimage, going on foot. So, and he felt thirsty, and then he was seeing there's so many lakes around, and was wondering why this place is called this waterless desert. There are so many nice lakes here, but then when he approached to drink water from one of those, as he was approaching the lake was receding further. Then he immediately understood that this is what I had read in books about a mirage. And once he knows that it is appearance of water, but actually no water, then although the scene remained the same, his response was different. Like the response of the one who is seeing the snake would be certainly different from the response of the one who is seeing the rope. Mm. So that is how, by seeing that all these things without any analysis, we conclude that they are real, they are mine, and then, yeah, it is, you get caught in that. So, as we get caught in this, unless we see the truth that God alone is the reality in that, and we go. So he prays to God, O Lord, in the man lion form, by your mercy I will certainly surmount the obstacles posed by the body. They are at the three levels, that at the level of body and at the level of mind, and then the others are the secondary ones in our, say, social environment and our other difficulties, the disease and so forth. They all will get surmounted. No other remedial measures sought by deluded people can be effective in removing these fetters. Mm. One person I know is having lot of problems in marital life, and so he thought, let me go to have a tour of some other places, other countries. I have, and then she got some money and also is, right now, some days ago, we had this conversation on phone that please guide me, I am suffering so much. I want peace. So is the peace kept in the country that you are traveling, somewhere in the Middle East? Is the suffering, people from there come here, people as if the peace will be here. And those who go from here, they will go to that Turkey and Romania and all those places. So, what is, because the peace is not there. Peace is in God, in truth. There alone you will find it. Oh, okay, have some change. The psychologists tell these remedies. Okay, some days you go on a nice sightseeing tour, go on a cruise, and so forth, so that it doesn't have any, except for some temporary titillations, it doesn't have any impact. This one must remember, that there is no possibility in getting this remedy from these. So, uh, this he then mentions here, whatever agent, high or low, be it one's own parents or the creator Brahma, constituted of the qualities of sattva, rajas, and tamas, brings into existence under thy command anything new, or creates any modifications in anything old, that agent and what he accomplishes are in essence thyself. A rather long sentence. Whatever the secondary powers do, you are the true power behind all that. It is your manifestation. And he then continues, the power of Maya. It is simple thing that we all experience. It is no point in getting into the deep technical philosophies about Maya. Sri Ramakrishna said in two words that lust and greed, that is Maya. That is the practical form of Maya that we are caught in. And we have desires, want more. Uh, and then, well, for that you need money, so you earn more money for that. So, never ending. It is, that is how one feels that emptiness. Oh, I am not achieving anything. And what? I achieved lot of fame and got a Nobel Prize. After some time, people forget it, and you also forget, and you are again back to the same uh, that square one situation. So, and none of that is going to uh, bring happiness in life. All these things go on only by the command of you, O Lord. So, Lord's Maya is causes delusion in all like this. So, it is this discussion of Maya. We won't go into it at all, but he says, O Lord of all, thou omnipotent being, self luminous, consciousness as thou art, thou transcendest all the gunas of Prakriti and their products. Thou art manifest as time, which controls and regulates all objects. So this is what Prahlada is seeing. A small boy, see the wisdom that he is manifesting, because actually he is united with God. And so all wisdom is automatic there. So he sees that how people get buffeted because of these snares of ignorance attached to them. So even if you try to get rid of it, you still are within that. So it cannot be get rid of in these ways. One has to go someone to someone who is beyond Maya. Then you can get rid of it. It makes sense, isn't it? If somebody is a beggar like me, I cannot get any donation from that person. Oh no, I also am begging. Okay, so I have to find somebody who is not a beggar. There is that story Sri Ramakrishna used to tell, that a fakir was there. So the emperor said, "Oh, please come. I will give you something. I will give you a big donation." The fakir went, and then he heard the king praying to God, "Oh, give me more wealth, give me more bigger empire," and so forth. And the fakir started walking. The king said, "Oh, why are you going away? I saw you also is begging from God. So why beg from a beggar? Let me beg from the God directly instead of begging from you." So this getting involved in the Maya, and in Maya trying to find way out of the Maya by some other methods which are in Maya itself, is not going to be possible. Every such attempt is like that noose that lassos that they put throw around the cattle. Now that knot is such that the cattle tries to get out of it, and it gets further tightened. So that is how I will get out of Maya by performing certain things that will get you more into Maya. You cannot get out of it unless you take recourse to that which is beyond. So let us, we will continue the discussion on Prahlada's prayer. Uh, yes, next Friday we will have the video of the some previous Bhagavatam class, because it is 165th class today, and there are very few who would be remembering what happened in the first class. 5, 6, 7 years ago we started this. So it will be another some previous class that will be displayed, and please listen to that, and we will chant this. This is the third verse which we use for concluding. निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुर्हो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. O devotees, quaff, quaff to intoxication this nectar of the fruit of the tree of Vedas, flowing from the mouth of the great sage Shuka and mixed with the ambrosia from his words. Any questions you can think about for half a minute, and if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. Any questions? Do you have a question, Krishna? No question. Okay. Ah, so, uh, any question up there? No. So let us conclude with the closing chant. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल. हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल. कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल. कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. As you are aware, coming, that is not coming Monday, but the Monday after that, the Memorial Day, there will be a retreat here, at the long retreat given by Swami Anubhavananda. So, those who want to join, please register as soon as possible. Thank you very much.